Hey, this is Canon Vickery here, and today I'm going to be doing Packet Tracer 6.2.2.4, and I'm going to start off, type my name here real quick, so you know it's me, and this Packet Tracer, we're going to be configuring IPv4 and default routes. So I'm going to be starting off by answering a few questions. On our topology here, how many networks are there in total? Well, in total, there's 5. See, this here is a network, this is a network, this is a network, here's one, and here's one. There's our 5 networks. And so, our next question here, and the reason why it's a network is because, like, between a router, another router, or a switch or something. Um, how many networks are directly connected to R1, R2, and R3? So, R1 here has 2 networks connected to it. R2 has 3 networks connected to it, and R3 has 2 networks connected to it. Um, so here, if we try and send a ping, if we were to try to send a ping from uh, R2, let's see, from the LAN of R2 to the LAN of R3, it should fail. Alright, look at here, it failed. And the reason why that is because no other nodes have been set up. So we have a question here, what is recursive static route? A recursive static route relies on next hop router in order for packets to be sent to its destination. A recursive static route requires 2 routing table lookups. Why does a recursive static route require 2 routing table lookups? It must first look up the routing table for the destination network, and then look up the exit interface / direction of the network for the next hop router. So what we're going to be doing is going to configure, now what we're going to do, actually going to get into some CLI stuff, we're going to configure a recursive static route to every network not directly connected to R1, including the WAN link between R2 and R3. So we're going to, I went to the wrong one. We're going to go to R1. I said the wrong router. Go to R1, go to the CLI, en conft, and our commands are IP route, see, 172.31.0.0, 255.255.255.0, 172.31.1.193. And then our next one is 173.1.196, 255.255.255.252, and 172.31.1.193. 193. And then this one, last one here is going to be 172.31.1.128, 255, 192, and then 172.31.1.193. So now, we'll get out of this. If we try and send a ping from R2 LAN to PC1, it should still fail. Okay, good. And the reason why that is R1 has a route to R2 and R3 LANs, but R2 and R3 don't have routes to R1. So, now we're going to move on to the next little section. How does a directly attached static route differ from a recursive static route? A directly attached static route relies on its exit interface in order for packets to be sent to its destination, while a recursive static route uses the IP addresses of the next hop router. Now what we're going to do, we're going to configure a directly attached static route from R2 to every network not directly connected. So like this one and this one here. Because we're trying to connect it to all the ones that it's not connected to. So like R1 was here, here, here. So R2, we're going to go in, en conft, we're going to do IP route 172.31.1.0, 255.255.255.128, SE0/0/0, and that is a little thing that pops up. Default route without gateway. If it's a point-to-point, it may impact performance, but it's not a point-to-point, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we're going to do IP route 31, 1, 128, 255, 255, 255, 192. This is SE001. Which one? Okay, which command only displays directly connected networks? So here if we go, whoops. Let's do exit show IP route connected. So here you can see all the routes we're connected to. And if we only want to show the static routes, it's show IP route static. And those are our static routes. So viewing the entire routing table, how can you distinguish between a directly attached static route and a directly connected network? So the static route has an S and the directly connected network has a C. So if you like look in here, connected, static. Now we're going to configure the default router on R3. So how does a default router differ from a regular static route? A default route, also known as a gateway of last resort, is the last network route used by a router when no other routes exist for the destination network. A static route is used to route traffic to a specific network. So we're going to go into our R3. And so now we're just going to do it like to a specific network. So if we go to R3, en conft and IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, SE 0/0/1, and the second one, oh nope, that's all we're going to be doing there. Now we're going to do end show IP route static. There, it's listed right there. That's our static route. So now, a few more questions. Explain a fully specified route. A fully specified route is a static route that is configured with an exit interface and a next hop address. Which command provides a fully specified static route from R3 to the R2 LAN? So that would be the so from R3 to the R2 LAN, that route would be the IP route 31.0.0 255.255.255.252 serial interface of 001 and then 172.3.1.192. Write a fully specified route from R3 to the network between R2 and R1. So if we just calculate it and not configure the route, it'd just be between R2 and R1, it'd be 172.3.1.192. Then subnet mask the same, and 255, 255, 255, 252, serial interface 0/0/1, 172.3.1.1.197. And so that's basically all for that. And I believe what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be verifying our static route configurations. So if we do, there's different commands that we can do. So let's just open up our R2, for example. Of the different commands, we've used a few of them, like show IP route. That's one. Show IP route static. Yeah, and those are like two different ones, and there's like connect one that you can do also. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna verify connectivity. So what we're gonna do is just from our PC1 or the desktop command prompt, we're gonna send a ping to 172.3.1.1.190. Let's make sure we enter in the command right. You have to put a PING at the front of it. Something I forgot to look at. Shoot, that's not a good sign. We're pinging 172.3.1. Not sure why I'm pinging that one. Well, that's PC3. Alright, well, it looks like we had some little issue with the, with how I configured something, so I'm going to take a second and try and fix that. Alright, I figured out what the issue was. There's some way I entered in commands in R2 that for some reason it didn't like to accept it. If you look here, that's the command I put in. This is the other command I put in. That seemed to fix everything. I did a tracer from PC2 to PC3. You can see here it all worked. But yeah, that's everything for this packet tracer. If you have any questions, just leave a comment.